Morning guys and welcome back to I Like Watches. San Martin have sent me two more watches. The first watch was free, hence the includes paid promotion icon in the top left hand corner. The second watch I've paid for. The first watch I'm going to show you is a new version of an existing watch that I'm sure you've seen many times before, so I won't spend too much time on that watch. But the second watch is a brand new release. It's a limited edition. They're only making 99 watches. They're all numbered and I've asked for watch number 10 out of 99. And I'm pretty sure it's one of those watches San Martin is using to demonstrate just how capable they are, especially when it comes to the finishing of stainless steel. So I'll be showing you that watch in a lot more detail. And of course, if you're interested in any San Martin watches, I'll put an affiliate link in my video description. It just takes you to their official store on AliExpress. The watches don't cost you any more money. It's AliExpress that pays the commission. So thank you so much for using my links and supporting my channel. And please guys, don't forget, if you enjoy my content, to click that like button and subscribe. Right, let's head over to the light box to take a look at these watches. Right, and here it is, the most recent San Martin SN004. This is not a new version 4, this is essentially an extension to the current version 3. I've mentioned in a number of videos just how good I think the current version 3 is, which has the black dial, black bezel insert, patina on the loom. It's just built to an incredible standard. I've said that I think that watch is about as good as it gets. The original one contains the PT5000 and the SW200, and it costs around £260. However, they're now offering this watch in a green, blue, or again a black colour, but without the patina on the dial and in the bezel insert. They've also put an NH35 in here, so that has reduced the price to around £190. So you are going to pay £70 less roughly for this version, and you can choose either the pencil hands or the more traditional Mercedes style hands. So yeah, you're going to get the same incredible build quality and finishing, but just with a cheaper and sometimes preferred NH35 movement inside, and 3 more colour options. Now, I've had a good close look at this watch and it really does seem to be built to the very same standards that the original version 3 is built to, and I really do think that is one of the best watches San Martin is currently making. I just don't think this watch can get any better, especially now that they're offering it in, well, 3 more colours, without the patina, 2 hand options as well, and with an NH35. So yeah, I suspect this watch will be more popular than ever. And one of the standout features of the original version 3 was the improved bezel action, and I'm pleased to report this one is exactly the same. Yeah, it feels super smooth, really crisp clicks. It just feels very satisfying. I don't know what they're doing underneath this bezel to make it so good. Have a listen. So yeah, it's good to know they're not reducing the price and then compromising on build quality. Let's just check out the alignments. Yeah, that's pretty good as well, isn't it? Right, let's move on and take a look at this limited edition watch, which I've paid a pretty penny for. Right, and here it is, one of the latest offerings by San Martin, the SN004, and as you can see, there are a lot of polished surfaces and facets on the case and the bracelet. So in order to avoid wiping this thing down every 5 seconds, I'm just going to hold it very gently. Now, when they first released this watch, they were offering it at a discounted price. I paid around £500 for this watch, and you may be thinking, what has possessed me to spend £500 on this watch? Well, there's a couple of reasons really. Firstly, I'm interested in unusual watches from AliExpress, quality watches, and also watches that are available in limited numbers. So yeah, the fact that there's only going to be 99 of these out there is quite appealing. They've also put the ETA2824 in here, so a very nice Swiss made movement, and as I've already mentioned, they seem to be using this watch as a bit of a sort of show off piece, a watch where they are demonstrating just what they're capable of, and I am someone who likes to pay quite a bit of attention to the finishing of stainless steel on watches. So yeah, I was interested to have a look at this watch, and with it being available in such limited numbers, I couldn't expect them to send me one for free, so I was happy to purchase it on this occasion. Now, in the listing on AliExpress, they've mentioned the words original design. It's not a true original design. It is paying homage to a very famous and well-known and a very popular watch. I'm not going to mention the brand, and if you're wondering why I'm not going to mention the brand or the name of the original watch, head down to the video description and I will have an explanation in there. But yes, the original watch, made by a very well-known and popular brand, is incredibly popular, which is a bit of a surprise to me because, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not wild about the size or design of the watch. But the original watch that this is paying homage to is apparently the best-selling watch that original brand makes. So there is obviously some demand for watches that look like this, but yeah, it's just not my thing, unfortunately. But what I do love is the quality of the finishing, and they have obviously gone to some pretty extreme lengths to produce something, well, which pays homage to that original watch, but in a style that is sort of their own. They've put obviously a lot of thought and effort into the finishing. I mean, look at that reflective surface on the case back. The polishing seems to be incredible. You've got some rather large, flat, polished surfaces on the bracelet. The polishing on those seems to be, well, mirror-like. You could literally apply makeup with this watch, I think. There are some pretty large mirror-like surfaces on it. And the brushing has also been done to an incredible standard. So yeah, they are definitely showing off with this watch. What about the bezel action, actually? I've not had a fiddle with the bezel. Let's have a little tinker with that. Oh, it's a bit more subdued than the bezel action on the previous watch. The resistance is about the same. Have a listen. Yeah, the clicks aren't quite as crisp, but yeah, it's a nice bezel action. Very good grip, I've got to say. Yeah, there's no polishing on the outside of that bezel, so grip is not a problem at all. And it's a really interesting bezel. It's a very deep, sort of sunken finish, a sort of relief bezel if you like, but the top surface is fully polished. Under macro, this thing looks incredible. Not just the bezel, but the finishing of the whole watch. And yeah, I'm already putting a number of thumbprints on the polished surfaces, which is inevitable, I think. Now, it is a 200-meter diver, but there is no screw-down case back. It is a screwed-down case back, and the case seems to be put together in a few sections. You've got some, well, Allen key nuts or bolts on top and some screws underneath, which I'm sure are functional. I don't see any other way this watch would be held together. You've also got a screw down crown, a rather large and beautifully milled screw down crown, which is very nice and easy to manipulate. So yeah, it is a 200-meter diver, and they have also included an on-the-fly adjustment system, a sort of diver's extension, if you like. The clasp is huge. It's very similar to the clasp that they're using a lot these days. Beautifully brushed and very nice high polished chamfered edges running the length, applied hexagonal logo, beautifully milled double pushers, no safety latch, but yes, inside you've got this sort of functioning micro adjust on the fly adjustment system. You just have to push down this little tab here, and then you can basically pull out the bracelet one little latch at a time, but you don't need to press it to push it back in. You can just keep pushing until you get a decent fit. Pretty cool. Now, they've kept the case back beautifully simple. There's a very large flat brushed surface and yeah, some polished surfaces. So no unique number on the case back, but there is on the side of the watch. Look, you've got a sort of plaque on the side of the watch referencing the unique number, if I can get it into focus. Hang on. There it is, number 10 of 99. Now, I have no idea if they're going to produce more of these watches once they've sold the first 100. While I'm zoomed in, let me show you the lume infilled into the applied indices and on the hands, and that lume pip at the 12 o'clock. Looks pretty decent. BGW9, yeah, seems to be a nice application. And I think I'll stay zoomed in so we can have a good close look at the case finishing and, well, the dial, the hands, the applied indices. Yeah, it looks very, very nicely done, doesn't it? Look how beautifully smooth that bezel is. Yeah, that polished surface on top of the bezel is, yeah, really, really interesting. I've not seen anything like that before. Huge applied indices, well, at the 12, 3, 6 and 9. They're sort of rounded rectangles, really nicely finished hands as well. Got some print above the 6. And yeah, lots of polished facets on this case. Yeah, they go into a fair bit of detail on AliExpress. As to how many surfaces and different facets this watch has. So I suspect each one of these is taking quite a bit of time to make, which is probably contributing to the price. Now, San Martin have provided me with a $70 discount code, which I'll put in my video description. So you may have missed out on the original launch price, but they have provided me with a very specific discount code for this watch. So if you are interested, don't forget to use that discount code. Now, I've got to say, I am very curious about the case construction, so I am probably going to take this watch apart, but in a video on I Like Watches too, because yeah, whenever I see screws like that, I just want to undo them. I'm sure you're the same. So make sure you come back to my other channel, I Like Watches too, yeah, to see how this watch has been built and how you would actually access the movement. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But before I start filming myself taking this thing apart, let me just show you this watch on my roughly average 7¼ inch-ish wrist. Now, I'm not going to run through all the facts, figures, stats and specifications in this video, but I will put lots of information about this watch in my video description. So yeah, if you're interested in the weight, dimensions, all that sort of stuff, make sure you head down there to check it out. But it's actually surprisingly comfortable. It's not the lightest watch. I suspect it's around 200 grams, but there is a decent amount of weight in that clasp and in the bracelet. Yes, the case feels a touch top heavy, but not too bad at all. And that on-the-fly adjustment system in the clasp means you can get a pretty consistent fit throughout the day. So yeah, I'm actually surprised at how comfortable this is and actually how good it looks. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about the original watch, well, and this style of watch. I always thought it just looked a bit too big and square, but actually looks all right. So yeah, please guys, do let me know what you think of this watch in the comments section. I suspect this one is going to be quite divisive. San Martin charging, well, the list price for this is around $650, $700, I think. So yeah, I suspect this one's going to lead to some interesting comments in the comments section, shall we say. So yeah, I look forward to reading your comments, guys. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, as always, for watching. I do really appreciate it. Guys, you'll see me again very, very soon.